regular meeting of the Forest Hills Board of Education. This is a meeting held in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a community public hearing. There is time for public comment as indicated in agenda item number 10. If you would like to speak a public comment today, please feel free to fill out one of the comment cards that are at the back of the room there near the doors where you came in. Those will be picked up right after the superintendent's report. Now, if you would please stand and join us as Mr. Mashad leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's wonderful to see a fairly full house here tonight. We have lots of good things going on, so I'm glad so many people are here. The first thing we have on our agenda tonight is MHSAA State Championship recognitions. Up first, we will have Dan McElhaney presenting for the Forest Hills Eastern Boys Track and Field.
All right, thank you to the Board of, Thank you to the Board of Education for carving out the time to recognize these tremendous athletes. I want to invite Henry Dixon to come on up here. Just 2 Saturdays ago, Henry capped off what's been a remarkable career by capturing the 800-meter state championship at the MHSAA Division II state meet. His third event of the day. He had already finished a runner-up in the 4x800 meter relay and the mile. And really, it's just the culmination of an incredible career where he was all-state 7 different times in different track and field events, all-state twice in cross country. He has our school records in the 800, the mile, the 2 mile, the 5K, and the 4x800 meter relay. But really, the thing that we're proudest of Henry is his hard work and his selflessness for his team, and the way that's been contagious throughout our program. During his time on the team, he's been a part of 4 team regional titles, 4 team conference championships, 5 top 6 finishes at the MHSAA state meet, and he's going to continue his studies and his career next year at the University of Michigan. So really proud of Henry, his hard work, the tenacity that he shows day to day, and then really just the selflessness that he shows for his teammates. So congratulations to Henry Dixon.
Congratulations. Up next, we have Heather McKenney-Rewa, who will be presenting for Forest Hills Northern Girls Tennis.
Thank you. If I could please have Morgan and her partner Lauren join me up here, please. I am pleased to be presenting tonight on behalf of Ben Sherman. He would like to say good evening to the members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Kirby, and our Forest Hills community. It's his pleasure tonight to highlight and recognize 2 exceptional students athletes from Forest Hills Northern High School, Morgan McKenzie and Lauren Jackish, who have brought home another state championship to our school and community. At first doubles, finishing off a historic season with a dominant performance in the state tournament. This victory is especially meaningful because it marks back-to-back state titles for the duo. Last year as juniors, they won the state championship at second doubles. This year, they moved up to the top spot, a jump in both competition and pressure. They rose to the challenge in the most impressive way possible. Over the course of the 2-day state tournament, Morgan and Lauren did not drop a set, cruising through a highly competitive bracket with poise, focus, and a level of chemistry that only comes from years of hard work, trust, and commitment to their sport and each other. Their undefeated run at first doubles in the regional and final tournaments is a testament not only to their athletic capacity, but their leadership, resilience, and drive to represent Northern with excellence. We are incredibly proud of you, Morgan and Lauren, for what you have accomplished, and we thank you for the way you represented our school, their teammates, and this community. Congratulations to our Division II #1 double state champions, Morgan and Lauren, and our head coach, Steve Olson.
Congratulations. All right, we have even more. This time we have Marty Atwater presenting for Odyssey of the Mind World Finals.
Thanks, Kristen. Congratulations to these athletes. That state championship level of play is amazing. You've done Forest Hills proud. So have a number of other students. Forest Hills has a long and proud tradition of involvement with Odyssey of the Mind, including some people who know a little bit more about it than others sitting right up there. The Odyssey of the Mind is the world's oldest creativity competition, student creativity competition and problem-solving competition. Each team picks one of 5 problems, and then they compete against like-aged students within their division. Forest Hills students have enjoyed great success with Odyssey of the Mind over the years, including a continuous string of not just regional and state level success, but at the world level. And to understand the accomplishment of these students, I want you to understand exactly what I mean by world. World Finals truly is a world event. Students in Odyssey of the Mind compete in hundreds of thousands of teams across the United States and across the globe. So for Forest Hills to send teams to the World Finals, certainly every year in this century, I don't have records that I know of before that, but we have really enjoyed a great run here at Forest Hills of sending teams to World Finals. This year we sent 8 teams to compete against the hundreds, 764 teams from around the globe that converged this year in East Lansing at Michigan State University. Of the thousands of teams solving each problem in each division, only the cream of the proverbial crop become world finalists. More impressive of those 8 teams is the fact that 2 of them took the world stage to earn medals and trophies on behalf of Forest Hills. It is my honor tonight on behalf of the Board of Education and the Michigan Creativity United Unlimited in Michigan, the organizing body of Odyssey of the Mind for Michigan. I'm delighted to present those teams to you tonight. First, actually both teams solved the structure problem where they only had 15 to 18 ounces of balsa wood, like 2 nickels and a penny of balsa wood. It's about how much it weighed, to hold as much weight as they could. One team exceeded 1,000 pounds of stacked weights, and the other was only just a little bit under that. So first, for Northern Belt in Division 1, I want to present that team to you, and they, amazingly, are silver medalists. They took 2nd at the World Finals of Odyssey of the Mind. Team, can you come up? Ian Gustafson, Mason Gabriel, Michael Voigt, Hayden Ho, Karsten Schwaneke, and Natalie Koo. When it's time to get your presentations, I'd love for each one of you to say who you are so everybody in the audience knows which person you are. Next person.
My name is Mason.
My name is Natalie Koo.
Thank you. Good luck.
These students have to learn how to project over.
My name
They're
is
performers.
Ian Gustafson. Thank you. Good job. Congratulations.
Spencer Schwab.
Spencer, good job. Congratulations. Karsten Schwaneke.
There you go. Congratulations.
Michael Vogt. There we go. Congratulations.
Well done, team. The other team is also a rising star in the sense that they've been together a while, they just don't have as many years left in front of them to compete. From Northern High School, this team has been together, the core of this team has been together for a number of years. 5 years they've competed. They are not strangers to the World Finals stage, but this year they got to walk across the main stage and collect their bronze medal and third place trophy. Please welcome the team from Northern High School. This team has incredible verve and excitement around them, and they've overcome a lot of difficulties this year. Just in case you're wondering why there were more children earlier, this team is actually made up of the students before you and another coach and 4 other students who, one of whom's a sibling, but they all attend a different school now, not Forest Hills. So we are honoring our Forest Hills students tonight, and the other schools are honoring their own students. But I want to present to you Coach Sally Behrens. Her co-coach Erica Crane is not here. Her children, Silas and Reese, as well as Nidhi Patel. Congratulations to you. You guys burned down the house. And I hope we see you back again next year. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our Odyssey of the Mind World finalists. I know how exciting that is to go to that, and the level of competition is absolutely insane. So to have 2 teams from Forest Hills crossing that stage is absolutely wonderful. Up next, we have our Judy Booley Perseverance in Action Award. So I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Kirby and Ms. Amy Pallo.
Thank you, Dr. Fossen, and congratulations to all our exceptional students, and appreciate all the parents being here to support tonight. Tonight's definitely a special evening as we honor individuals who've made a profound impact on our students, colleagues, families, and the greater community. These awards represent the best characteristics of leaders who lift people up and inspire others to be their best self. The first award this evening is called the Judy Booley Perseverance in Action Award. The award was created in 2016 by the staff at Central Woodlands, which is a 5-6 school, to honor the school counselor, Judy Booley. The award is presented to an FHPS employee or group of individuals who in their job performance demonstrate Judy's attributes such as resilience and perseverance. During the 15-16 school year, Judy faced personal and professional challenges after a car accident, and she had a long road to both physical and emotional recovery, and she persevered through it all. Judy's strength, determination, and passion for her job, students, helped her rise above all of the challenges. And tonight we would like to honor the 2025 recipient of the Judy Booley Perseverance in Action Award, Kim Van Antwerp, who is our Director of Elementary Instructional Services. About the amazing Kim.
Thank you, Ben, and good evening. I'm honored to be here tonight representing Forest Hills Eastern High School as last year's recipient of the Judy Booley Perseverance in Action Award. But more so, I'm humbled to talk about a dear colleague who is this year's award recipient, Kim Van Antwerp. The word perseverance comes from Latin, meaning one who sees through to the end, one who does not yield. In Chinese, the character for perseverance shares its meaning with patience. Tonight, we gathered to honor Kim Van Antwerp, someone who embodies this profound meaning in the most extraordinary way. Kim's story is inseparable from the light of her son, Luke Balstead. Luke understood something profound about living, that joy isn't just an emotion that happens to us, it's a choice we make every single day. His warmth touched everyone he met, his family, his sister Sydney, his friends and teachers at Hudsonville High School, and everyone he encountered at Harvard. In his own handwriting, he penned these powerful words: "Less perfection means more authenticity." When unimaginable tragedy struck Kim with the loss of her son Luke, she faced a choice that would define not just her own healing, but the lives of countless others. She could have chosen to let grief consume her. Instead, she chose to transform her pain into purpose and her loss into a greater love. Kim is the embodiment of perseverance and so much more. In the face of the darkest grief imaginable, Kim has bravely chosen to honor Luke's memory through the Love Like Luke initiative. Not as an ending, but as a beginning. She channels Luke's essence into her unwavering commitment to that, ensuring that the whole child is supported in our schools, academically, behaviorally, and social-emotionally. Her advocacy helps educators understand the critical importance of nurturing all aspects of a student's development and fostering a more compassionate and supporting the learning environment for our Rangers, our Huskies, and our Hawks. Every day, Kim makes the choice to find joy in learning, to see hope in young faces, and to believe that tomorrow can be better than today. That's not easy when your heart is broken, but that's what choosing light looks like. It's not the absence of darkness, but the decision to shine anyway. Kim's perseverance extends far beyond our classrooms, our professional learning days, our curriculum reviews, and the Forest Hills community. Through the American Foundation for Suicides Prevention's annual Out of the Darkness community walks, she transforms Luke's memory into action. From local suicide prevention events in Grand Rapids to Seattle, Washington, and even with a runner participating in the Boston Marathon in Luke's honor, Luke's presence continues to be felt across the country. Her subtle collaboration with the University of Michigan's Neuro Arts production brings awareness through All in Your Head, an interdisciplinary performance that breaks down stigma around mental health. Through her support of the Grand Rapids Children's Museum and their Weathering Emotions education piece, she has created safe spaces for even our youngest learners to understand their feelings. Kim teaches us that perseverance isn't about being strong all the time. It's about showing up authentically, feeling deeply, and choosing kindness, even when, especially when, it's hard. She has shown us that perseverance isn't just about getting through another day. It's about choosing to be the reason someone else gets through theirs. As Kim herself has said, we will always be so proud of Luke, and we will forever fight for him every second. The light he brought to earth was immeasurable and continues now through his family and friends. Luke's words echo forward through Kim's daily work as an educator. Be brave, be beautiful, be kind, keep making a difference. The world needs it. Through Kim's extraordinary perseverance, she has created spaces where people can choose connection over isolation and hope over despair. She has transformed the deepest darkness into light for countless others. She has shown us that love doesn't end with loss, it multiplies. Mental health struggles don't define us, but how we support each other through them defines our character. When we love like Luke, with authenticity over perfection, with kindness as our compass, and with courage to be vulnerable, we create a world where no one has to face their struggles alone. Kim, someone who loves you very much and who is so proud of you, couldn't be here tonight, but wanted to share a message with you.
Hey Mom, it's Sid. I wanted to say a big congratulations on winning the award. I wasn't surprised in the slightest when they contacted me and was really, really excited to give you this message. One of my favorite qualities about my mom, her entire life has been her ability to persevere, prioritize, just really excel at everything she does, even in the darkest of times. I think as of recently, things have been really hard, and Mom, I just want to say how proud I am of you for persevering and for doing an amazing job at work, obviously, and I'd say say what I'm most proud of you for is I've seen your ability to persevere really, really extend into self-care and taking care of yourself and making sure that you are staying on top of that too. I admire you so much and I miss you, and again, congratulations. Thank you guys for taking care of my mom and for loving her just as much as we do. Thanks, Mom. Wish I was there. Love you. Bye.
As we witness from Kim's daughter, Sydney, Kim is the essence of perseverance, patience, and love. Her daily choice to transform pain into purpose has not only touched family members and colleagues, but she's an inspiration to everyone. Luke continues to shine through his mom. Through every life saved, every conversation started, every moment of kindness shared, and every interaction she has with staff, students, and families. Let us all here tonight follow Kim's lead and carry Luke's light forward. Let us love like Luke. Kim, it's an absolute honor to invite you up here to receive this year's Judy BOE's Perseverance in Action Award.
Expressing my deep admiration for Judy. Her strength and her perseverance have always been and will always be so inspiring. And my family, my beautiful family, your patience and love have really allowed me to find a new me during a time that really isn't describable with any words that I can come up with. My work family and you are my family. You continue to just amaze me. You showed up, and you did so in such incredible ways. When I needed time off, when I needed support, and that's what families do, and I will forever be grateful for you. And finally, I think about the word perseverance, and when I think of the word, the first person that comes to mind is Luke. Our Luke would have graduated from Harvard last week. Continues to guide me. When you get to be Luke's mom, you find strength, you do persevere, you advocate, and you continue to do that. You continue to spread love. I think everyone in my life has given me, I guess, that strength and perseverance that I needed, but I really think it is because of you. You're the ones that have allowed me to do that. So I will continue to advocate, I'll continue to be there for anyone that needs me. That's what Luke would have done. So we're going to continue to spread love, just like Luke would, and forever love like Luke. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And with that, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Fawcett.
Okay, well, this is a very short turnover here because we are heading right into our next presentation, which is our Ben Emden Guiding Principles in Action Award, which will be presented by Superintendent Kirby and CJ Shaw.
Okay, thank you. Our final award for the evening is the Ben Emden Guiding Principles in Action Award. First introduced in the district in 2002, and it is considered the most prestigious award given by Forest Hills Board of Education. The award is presented every year to an individual in our school community who has had a profound impact on the district and who has consistently demonstrated the district's guiding principles of respect, caring, collaboration, diversity, learning, trust, open communication, and high expectations over many years of service to our students, schools, and community. The award is named for Ben Emden, who is here with us tonight, who served our district in many roles for nearly 40 years. Ben served Forest Hills in the 1960s and 70s as a teacher, principal, and business manager. From the early 1980s until June of 2002, he served as a volunteer and as a school board member, serving as the president of the school board for 5 years. During his tenure, Ben chaired or co-chaired every village and bond election in the district, and all were successful, with the community approving over $190 million to the district during that time. So tonight, on behalf of the Board of Education, it is my honor and my privilege to announce the 2025 recipient of the Ben Emden Guiding Principles in Action Award, a friend and a mentor, and someone who was on this Board of Education for more than 20 years herself, Mrs. Mary Vaughn.
Please welcome this evening Ben Emden, Dan Beam, Noah Elmucci, Doug Josephson, and Dr. James Bonner. Come on over here. Mary, we could easily spend an entire evening, more than 2 minutes for sure, just celebrating you and everything that you've done for this district. Here tonight, we have several individuals who, certainly admire you and respect and appreciate you and all of the work that you've done, and they also would call you your friend, and that's to know Mary. We know you don't like being in the limelight and all the attention on you, and however, nobody is more deserving than you for that. So we have several guests with us tonight who would like to say some words. First, I'm going to introduce gentleman doesn't need a whole lot of introduction, but Dan Bean, the Executive Director of Education Advocates of West Michigan and former FHPS Superintendent.
Thank you, Ben. It was a great pleasure, honor, and truly a joy to work with Mary Vaughn for 17 of her more than 20 incredible years on the Board of Education. I remember back to 2006, the first year that I met Mary, and my first impressions of this incredible person were smart, extremely knowledgeable about everything Forest Hills, and someone who had the highest WPM rate I had ever encountered. WPM stands for words per minute. It did not take long for my initial impressions of Mary to also see that this is a woman devoted to serving others. She possesses a Mother Teresa-like reservoir of caring, and she is a phenomenal listener. Mary is a testament to all 8 of the district's guiding principles. She is an exemplar for what it means to be a public servant, and she embodies the overarching ethos of the Board of Education to always do what is best for children. You know, it's easy to do what's best for kids when the answer is obvious, the resource is plentiful, and the decision is going to be met with near universal approval. The work becomes much more challenging when any one of these elements is missing. Mary excelled at this work. It's not just her mechanical engineering background and her STEM smarts. It's also her heart for people, her enthusiasm for innovation and entrepreneurship, and her capacity to truly listen. That's one of Mary's superpowers, listening. She does not listen to respond, she listens to understand. One of her lasting impacts is the creation of the Student Advisory Council, a group of 9th through 12th grade students from all 3 high schools who meet with the superintendent and members of the board to share the lived experiences of our students and to help create a more needs-satisfying schools for all kids. And Mary, I think you are one of the unique parents in the community where your children attended all 3 of the schools, Central, Northern, and Eastern, if I have that correct. Mary has always been there for our students, elevating their voices, celebrating their personal bests, the public achievements, and the first attempts in learning. She's been there during all the tough times, too. She's there when the grief is raw, and remains there years later when the loss fades from public view. Fred Rogers said, "When something bad happens, look for the helpers." Mary is a helper extraordinaire. One of the toughest things the Board of Education has to do is occasionally expel a student. Mary can make these tough choices, but in every case, she was there the next day, the day after the expulsion, talking to the parent, the grandparent, and the student, helping them get a plan to get back on the right track, and then encouraging them every step along that track until they completed their education. Mary is a tireless worker. I'm not sure there's a volunteer role in Forest Hills that Mary hasn't tried, right? I'm sure you agree with that. PTO member, PTO president, parent advisory council, bond steering committee, Millennium Task Force, academic booster, athletic booster, foundation trustee, school board member, and all things Project Charlie, just to name a few. We're not just celebrating Mary's over 20 years on the Board of Education, but it's probably more 30 years plus of service to our community. Mary, I am both professionally and personally forever grateful for your decision to serve. You have given thousands of hours, tens of thousands of dollars, and so much more so that children in this community can reach their full potential. No one embodies this award more than you, and I am grateful to call you friend. Congratulations, Mary.
Thank you, Dan. And Mary and her over 2 decades of work had the opportunity to hire Dan Neem and myself as superintendents, but she also had the privilege of working with Dr. Mike Washburn, who is unable to be here tonight. But Dr. Rashad will speak a little bit about what Dr. Washburn had to share.
From the desk of Dr. Washburn. It has been my tremendous pleasure to be great friends with Mary Vonk. I first knew her as a parent and Forest Hills volunteer for many years. She made the parent advisory committee very active and always put students as her first and top priority, regardless of her roles. Next, I had the great fortune to work with her as a board member for my final 2 years as superintendent before retiring in 2006. She was such a great board member, always doing her homework, asking the right and challenging questions, and supporting her other board members as a team player. I have a couple anecdotes I'd share, but we'll do that personally when we meet for our regular coffee chats. There's simply no one better qualified for the Emden Award than Mary Vonk. She upholds the high standards that Ben created as an equally fantastic board member. She has such a fine and caring soul. She's a great listener, has a tremendous empathy for all kids, even when she has difficult decisions to make. She's honest, transparent, and has a heart of gold. Since my retirement, Mary and I speak several times each year, sometimes by phone, email, or text, but also with our favorite style, one-on-one meetings. As a longtime member of the board, she's become the local historian. She was a great supporter for Dan in all of his years of service and also welcomed Ben with open arms. Mary, you are too young for a rocking chair. You have so many gifts and talents that need to be shared. I know you will land in a place that needs your wisdom and ability, and it will be fun to watch your career as it expands. I know how much you love and value your family. Each time we talk, I hear wonderful stories about each of your kids. You and Ray have developed each of them into such fine and independent thinkers. You stay involved, but never try to micromanage. You should write a book on parenting. No one is better. I'm sorry again that I couldn't be here in person, as you might imagine, and as you boys kidded me about my career and inability to really retire. While you are given all these accolades, I'm in Kent City facilitating an evaluation with their superintendent and board. Have a wonderful night. I know how humble you are and how much you detest individual praise, but you have earned every accolade. Mary, you simply left the board and district in far better shape than when you started this journey. Have a wonderful summer, and don't forget, we will continue our string of coffee chats soon. From Mike Washington.
Thank you, Dr. Washburn, for those kind words. And really, you could be a co-author in that book. We understand it's a team thing. So thank you. You know, Mary did so much for adults. She's done a lot for the community, and certainly the work with the children while she was here was definitely impactful, whether it be elementary students working with, high school students working with elementary students, or just our high school students in the superintendent student advisory. But it's been very impactful, so thank you for that work. And we have Noah Amuchi, who is here to speak a little bit about his experiences with you as well.
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Kirby and the Board of Education for giving me the opportunity to speak about someone who has had a profound impact on my life. I first met Mrs. Monk during my freshman year after applying to join the Student Advisory Council. For those who may not be familiar, the Student Advisory Council is a group of 8 students from each Forest Hill school who meet monthly with the superintendent to discuss student well-being and bring forward concerns from the student body. Mrs. Monk led this committee with incredible dedication. Despite her many responsibilities, she poured her heart and soul into the Student Advisory Council. While she was deeply committed to advancing education across the district, what stood out to me most was her unwavering passion for supporting the well-being of students in every building. I often think back to our conversations about curriculum, dress code, student clubs, college readiness, and so much more. All of these topics align with Mrs. Funk's one mission, improving the lives of students. Whether that is through leading an anti-drug program or simple discussion with students, Mrs. Funk consistently made it clear that student voice matters and that every concern, big or small, was worth listening to. As I reflect on the end of my high school career, I will always remember Mrs. Funk for the momentous impact she had on countless students across the district. Sometimes the most meaningful impact isn't something you can see or measure. It's the lasting feeling of being heard, valued, and supported. And that is exactly the kind of impact Mrs. Funk had on me and so many others. For that, I will always be grateful for her. Thank you, Mrs. Funk, for dedicating your time, energy, and heart to making our schools and our lives better.
In over 2 decades of working with this team of 8, which changed faces a number of times, one thing was clear: it was always students first. And there's many members of the team that could speak about you, but Doug Josephson and Dr. James Bonner have a few things that they would like to share about their experiences with you as well. So please.
Thank you, Ben. Mary and I were originally elected to 4-year terms in the Forest Hills Board of Education in 2004. You were much younger then. We were actually re-elected to 4-year terms in 2008 and 2012. So we served together for 12 and a half years through 2016. That means that we campaigned for office 3 times together, and we're still best friends. Those were the easy days of elections, and they were also 4-year terms. I left the board in 2016, but Mary agreed to stay on for 1 more 6-year term. Then she somewhat reluctantly agreed to run for an open 2-year term to help provide support, history, and perspective to the new board and also new superintendents. And with that history, I want to ask a question that probably sounds familiar to anybody who worked closely with Mary. You have a minute to talk. If you just felt a flash of recognition, or the urge to clear your schedule, or possibly pull over if you're driving, you're not alone. Because we all know that when Mary asked if you had a minute, you better cancel your next meeting, and probably lunch. But here's the thing. If we were smart, we would always find time. And not because we had to, but because we wanted to. Because when Mary talked, it wasn't just to fill the silence. It was to share ideas, concerns, hopes, wisdom, and to make sure that no decision was ever made without considering what was best for kids, for all kids. Over her time on the Board of Education, Mary saw the district through many highs and lows. Financial challenges, building openings, closings, and renovations, and many new district leaders. She also helped to guide the district through the last few years of long school board meetings that could possibly have turned into full-length feature films. Through it all, she brought consistency, compassion, a sense of humor, and yes, post-meeting phone calls and discussions that ran a little long, but were never short on purpose. Mary's involvement in Forest Hills was much more than the school board. She poured out herself into the district. Mary was in school buildings many days every week, meeting with administrators, teachers, staff, students, and parents. As Noah just mentioned, Mary was very passionate about her work with Project Charlie, and she volunteered in so many ways, as we've already heard. What always stood out to me about Mary was her unwavering belief that every child matters and deserves the very best. That our decisions as a school board had to be guided by what is best for kids. And if that meant asking tough questions, staying late, or making sure every voice was heard, then that is what Mary insisted that we do. Tonight, as we honor Mary's 2 decades of service, we don't just thank her for showing up. We thank her for standing up and for speaking up, for students and families, for teachers, administrators, bus drivers, and support staff, for always doing what was best for kids, even when it was really hard. Mary, I want to thank you for all of those quick conversations that turned into 20 minutes. They were always a reminder to me of what a truly dedicated public servant looks like. Thank you for everything you did for Forest Hills Public Schools. You're truly well-deserving of the 2025 Ben Emden Guiding Principles in Action Award. Congratulations, Mary.
Mary, we're all so excited for you tonight and proud of you this evening. The Ben Emden Award is certainly a huge A+ on your cumulative report card. But unfortunately, I am a really, really tough grader, and I don't use a curve. So I'm afraid that I'm just going to have to give you straight C's. But don't worry, it isn't what any of you are thinking. Mary gets a C for creativity. When you look at her many contributions to the district over more than 2 decades, you always see her trademark creativity and strategic innovation. She also gets a C for collaboration. Even during the most challenging and difficult issues, Mary would listen respectfully, seek new perspectives, work across the aisle, search for cooperation and compromise, and almost always find a win-win solution. And finally, Mary gets a C for courage. Sometimes, despite everyone's best efforts for compromise, there would of course be those issues that became clouded and distracted by gratuitously political or self-focused interests. In those difficult moments, Mary could turn to our guiding principles with resolve, clarity, and courage to keep our district true to our North Star, which we all hold dear, doing what is right for our kids. And for that courage, Mary, we thank you most sincerely. Business icon, entrepreneur, and philanthropist Rich DeVos often spoke of the importance of servant leadership, and he had a couple of great definitions for that. Rich said that a true servant leader is the last person to take credit for any success, even when it was their idea, and the very first person to take responsibility for any failure, even when it wasn't their fault. Throughout your years of dedicated service, Mary, you certainly demonstrated that kind of distinctive and memorable servant leadership. But Rich DeVos also had another definition of servant leadership. He said that a servant leader is that person whose car is the first in the parking lot every morning and the last car in the parking lot every night. And that is our Mary. Whatever the event, graduations, teacher appreciations, dedications, ribbon cuttings, student programs, sporting events, Mary was not only there, but usually she was the last to leave. Not because any of it was about her, but because she wanted everyone, every single person, to feel welcomed, valued, seen, heard, and appreciated. And that is what our Forest Hills Guiding Principles are all about. So Mary, on this special evening, and this very, very well-deserved award, thank you, congratulations, and we love you.
As you have heard, we are celebrating a champion in education, certainly one whose true North Star is always doing what is best for kids. The one thing I didn't realize is how reflective you were. You know, Doug talked about needing 1 minute, and you've expanded that to 2 at the latter part of your career, so that's a really impressive. But we definitely have been enriched by your vision, your wisdom, your courage, dedication, and leadership, and we know that you will continue to be a champion for all learners. And on behalf of the Forest Hills Public Schools and our Board of Education, it's my sincere honor to present this year's Ben Emden Guiding Principles in Action Award to you, Mary Malk.
Superintendent Kirby just asked if I want to say something. In view of what you heard from my most esteemed friends, that's probably true, and I can do too. He called to tell me about this, and I'm sure you will be shocked to hear I literally was speechless. This is Forest Hills. This board is one of the most amazing boards I've ever been on, and completely wraps in all the beauty and wonder and talent of the people that spoke to you tonight, and some I see in the audience. We have a State of the District Foundation luncheon, I'm sure in 2 minutes, and every year I say, hey, old people like me, come back and let's hang out together. And that table is always full. That is the kind of group that wants to lead Forest Hills. We run in an amazing community. We should all be really proud of where we live and who we are and what this group does. I'm shocked and honored beyond belief that a superintendent who's done and should be off on the golf course and maybe doing his job came back. And as Mr. Kirby knows, we were excited to hire him. And in my WPM way, when we were interviewing him, he said something about 5 years. I said, or 10? And he didn't know me yet. He said, I'm sorry. I said, or 10? I had to say it 3 times, but I think it would have been the 3rd time. So thank you for a little more than 2 minutes. It is a gift and a pleasure and a privilege beyond words that you all let me run in the circle of people before me and have the treat of getting to hang out with you and this group of people, the board, our superintendents, my fun board member, fellows for all these years. So thank you.
Well, Mary, let me just say that it is a great honor of mine to have our names associated together. What you have done for our community is absolutely amazing, and there's no way that any of us can really thank you. But from the community, for everything that you have done for our students and our community, thank you so much. And have a great, great night. Thank you.